initially went unreported. Public Health England said the glitch had affected results over a 7-day period up to last Friday. It's understood a significant proportion of the unregistered infections were concentrated in the northwest of England. Everyone who returned a positive test has now been told, but it's not known how many of their contacts have been traced. The error means daily cases at the end of last week were nearer 11,000, rather than initial totals of almost 7,000. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the new totals...
Hello Judith, hello Fiona, hello Angie, how are you? I was just in the middle of another painting there, so I'm just moving everything to one side, getting everything ready. There's my blue that I use so often, my lovely, lovely Ludlow blue. And as you can see, I've got spare. So, yes. What have you done to your wrist, Angie? Clearly you weren't here yesterday. This was a horse gate electric fence that far from the catch incident, and I think you can probably fill in the details. It's broken. Hello Mel, how are you? Hello Heather, how are you? Missed you yesterday. Hello Annaline and Barbara and Anna. How do you keep your bandage so clean? Well, I've only had it since Wednesday night, so that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Because I haven't really been anywhere. Can't hang around. We'll have to go to the post office van. Business is picking up. Fiona, business is picking up here too. Yesterday, I don't know whether you were here, and I showed you the masks. Well, I did a sort of social media blitz. I put them on lots of like groups and selling pages and stuff like that, and it's been like bang, 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 mask, 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 mask. And as you know, they're sort of quite low value items, but even a card does drive people to one's website and also focuses the mind as people get closer to Christmas, and they might think, where shall I go? Ooh, I saw some nice stuff when I was buying that mask. Hello Neil, hello Stephen. Yes, on the mend, I hope. Although, do you know what? I got a letter today, and it was a copy of the letter that the hospital, Cramlington, had sent to my GP. And I mentioned it to Fifey. I said, don't you think that's just a little bit sneaky? Because, you know, yesterday I told you that I had hello Sally, hello Neil, hello... I know, it is quite painful. I said that I'd gone to Hexham initially on the Sunday and then had been phoned and told to go to Cramlington for a CT scan. So I went to Cramlington for a CT scan. You know, I didn't sort of rush off or say, now then, could you just check that there's nothing else you're supposed to do? When I got home, nearly home, they rang and said, oh, we should have done a blood sample, carry on. So I went in early the next day. Anyway, boring. But the letter says, you know, Ms. Rogers, and it's got my age and otherwise healthy, but with a broken whatever, radial distal, I know, bone. Hello, Paul. Nice flower arranging. Anyway, so the letter says that I came in, and then it said, due to a misunderstanding, Ms. Rogers did not see a doctor. And something like, when we rang her, she was nearly home. Now, that is actually not true. At no point was I offered to see a doctor, or I'd said to Fifey, could we turn around and go back? Because I really wanted to see the x-ray, you know, to see what it was like. So I'm afraid, Cramlington, you speak with forked tongue. Hello, Valerie and Jean. You love your hankies. Thank you, Paul. Maybe you could do a little bit of like, I don't know, having one tucked in your cassock pocket. Or Paul, who's a very, very dear friend, he's like a sort of, he's like a son, but we have no blood in common. So in that he's useful, he's rather sweet, and all those things, and I love him dearly, but sometimes he irritates me. And he should do more posting of my hankies online and promoting me. And show all the other seminaries or ordinaires or whatever you call yourselves, those of you who are in training to be vicars. So how do I keep it clean? By getting Fifey to do all the dirty jobs, like mucking out the horse that had to be in on Saturday because it was absolutely pouring with rain. And if you want to know how it's feeling fine now, and it was feeling fine yesterday evening, but during the night it was not feeling fine. And I decided to pass on my slurp of morphine after reading my book and going to sleep because it felt fine. And it seemed pointless to take quite a serious drug when I'm feeling perfectly fine. But of course, didn't I just remember to sign that will, Mammy, Paul? Ah, no, you see, in order to be mentioned in my will, Paul, we have to have blood in common. Sorry. You need a butler. You're right, Neil. So Paul, who is now away in Yorkshire training to be a priest until they kick him out because he's so irreverent. Sorry, Paul, but it's got to be said. He would be the perfect butler. He really would. Except that deep down he doesn't really care. Fruit of your loins, not fruit of my loins. So anyway, I woke up at 2 a.m. and it was ow. And I couldn't put it anywhere comfortable. She has one, her husband. Don't say that. The thing about Fifey is he can turn sour. I can't take him for granted because he can get a little bit like. So no, Fifey's lovely, but you've just got to play him like a salmon in the water. Isn't Fifey your butler? Right, so shall we do some painting? He's a very good butler. Yes, Jane, you have had his services as a butler for, is this your 14th year? I know, you can cook a sausage, can't he? I know, Paul, Jane, you're absolutely right. Paul would be perfect. Anyway, today Jane is there, but she's not here. She'll be here tomorrow. This is a rare day when I'm here on my own, so I can skip around and do all sorts of things that I can't do when they're here. When I say there, I mean either Jane or Lisa. I had Emma here yesterday. I had the lovely Emma, who is, as Jane says, quite rudely, one of my minions, i.e. she's not like top of the pack. Gemma's watching. Hello, Gemma. Yeah, no, she's not a minion. She's great. And she's really, really good at coming and really quickly doing stuff when she's not doing her other job or looking after her cute little baby. Anyway, shall we get on and do a little bit to this painting? This is where Jane leaves because she's not interested in painting, are you, Jane? To be fair. So we've got some of the foreground to paint. If you look at the eyes, they're a bit too light, and in fact, when you look at Chicken's eyes, you wouldn't see that. So I might just do a bit of darkness in there first. So I'll leave it upside down. I'll tip you up. Again, as usual, if the sound goes or something, you telltale. Telepine tip, that's me. Yeah, if the sound goes or the things go, there's nothing I can do. I've turned everything off. So I'll get a bit of colour ready to do these bits and a brush. Do that one. I try always to do it quietly so that it doesn't disturb the sound. Test it. Okay, maybe let's maybe a bit murky. Right, we'll try that. Sorry about the hair. Obviously, I'm a bit incapacitated. It's quite hard putting your hair up when you've only got one useful hand. But as you can see, it's getting quite mobile. I'm doing lots and lots of this sort of thing, trying to get it to heal quicker than normal. Because we've got a very busy time coming up. Oh yes. Right, I'll tip you now. Don't look at my crinkly old skin. Hopefully you can see. Yes, I do believe you can. And what's more, I can see what you're saying, which is good. Do these three eyes first. And that one down there. Now then, this is a pale grey cardie, so I need to try and keep it out of the paint. Right. So while it's still wet, I'll put a slightly darker wash over the top of the eye, because that is slightly shadowed by the red around the eye, so hopefully they look a little bit less startled now and a bit more like actual chickens. Now I'll move on and do these ones at this side. Joanne Renton's watching. Hello. Sorry to see your hand is injured. It's a broken wrist, Mayru. Don't worry, it'll get better. But thank you. Not really what I wanted right now. So apparently 2 of my grandchildren were watching yesterday's live video. But it's rather sad because little Hamish, who's only 2, he hears my voice and he thinks I can see him, and he shows me things which I can't see, obviously. I'd love to see them, grandchildren, in the flesh, not just on FaceTime. Right. So those eyes look a little bit more like what chickens' eyes really look like than they did before. Okay. Sorry folks, I gotta turn it round. I'm going to do a little work on the foreground, and yesterday I mentioned about adding warm colours like, did you remember this sort of fuchsia pink or alizarin crimson that I put in here, and I also put a little bit here and over here, and it just slightly warms up that sense. It slightly warms up this area and marries in a bit with the red of the combs. Now in the foreground, I'm thinking about, again, a slightly autumnal feel, maybe some leaves, and I'm looking at maybe slightly more earth colours. Again, that's like warmer colours. Yeah, that's a warm colour, like a warm earth colour. Hello, Susan Foster. Betty Scott. I was thinking about you yesterday and thinking how long it had been since I'd seen you, and I was going to send you a text and say, Betty, how are you? And how's lovely Ian? Don't you just miss all these lovely people that you see, not normally, but at least now and again, and it's just not happening. But as you know, this is a shop, so people can come here, and they do. I had a few people here yesterday afternoon. So I'm just sort of hinting at a autumnal type of foreground, leaving a few leaf-shaped bits maybe. Sort of doing one of my favourite things, which is twisting and turning these lovely brushes to get the shapes I want. While it's still wet, just add a little bit of depth in the areas where there would be a shadow, which would be under the toe of that chicken. Oh, here's Fifey reversing up to the studio in the Ranger. The Ranger being the Ford pickup, which has just had quite a lot of money spent on it. And there's loads more bits to do. This sort of layer of leaves, I think I'll have darker ones underneath, so almost like imagining, not maybe hostas or something like that, so you can see the top leaves and then there'll be ones that are slightly shaded underneath. That's what I'm thinking anyway. We obviously need to get a bit more depth on the legs of these chickens. And then the fun bit, those of you who have been watching videos since the start will know that paintings have their great bits, which I sort of referred to as the sausages, i.e. the best bit on the plate, and I tend to save them till last. I know some people eat the best bits first. I'm not one of those people. What's being said? Hello Beth, nice to see you. And Jan Oliver, hello. Great photographs of Maddie on her Facebook page. Jan Oliver is a regular watcher and also purchaser of original art, which is lovely. And her daughter Maddie is an amazing rider and all-round bendy woman. She can walk on her hands, which I'm very jealous of. I mean, I can walk on my hands, I could like put my hands under my feet and walk, and that would just hurt. But what I mean is she can walk with her feet in the air and use her hands as if they were feet. And there's a picture of her in some sort of fairly scanty top, obviously just rather subtly showing off the fact that her abs are very, very defined and has made everyone very jealous. But she's a lovely girl, Maddie. And will always help if she can, which we all need a bit of help now and again, especially when you've got horses. Horses for courses. I hope you're not getting too bored. I can't really speed it up much more. Neil Nixon, Emma was here yesterday and she said, oh, shall I take Neil's masks to the shop? Because Neil, who's watching, has a post office and sells lots of other stuff as well. And I said, yeah, great. And then she'd gone and we'd both blooming well forgotten. But one of us, well, it won't be me, that's for sure, will be driving past your place very soon, Neil, and we'll get them dropped in. I hope you can see. I am an eater of the best bits first. Do you know what, Beth? I noticed you're very slim. You have a very trim-line figure. And I've often wondered whether it's because we were told to eat everything up. You know, there was no leaving stuff on your plate. And I can't help thinking that perhaps if we'd been told to only eat the things we wanted, we might not have struggled with our like bulging waistlines and things, because knowing that you had to eat everything on your plate as a child meant that you just sort of wolf down all the bits you didn't want and then savour the lovely whatever meaty bits or favourites. And also you couldn't have a pudding unless you'd eaten everything. So it doesn't, I don't know, I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but then as a parent, if you prepare food, you really want to eat and you don't want to throw stuff away. I saw the most interesting thing today. You still there? Not a good time to be practicing your hand walking. No, you're right, Beth. Never bored. Oh, that's so nice, thank you. So my mother rang up this morning just to see how I was. We do this funny thing. It's like the phone rings and I can see it's her number. And so I pick the phone up and I shout. I go, what? What is it now? What? And she always laughs her head off. It's like a guaranteed laugh. The old jokes, you know, they're great. Anyway, she rang up to see how I was. But she just really wanted a very quick, are you still alive type of thing, because she was watching the news. And she wanted to watch the news more than she wanted to talk to me. But while we were on the phone, I said, Mum, I've just seen the most amazing thing. And literally just here, I saw, and I can't say for definite whether it was a stoat or a weasel. And I know that stoats are bigger than weasels, but I couldn't really tell. Anyway, I saw this thing whizzing past and it was carrying something. And so anyway, from the door, I scuttled along here so I could see it outside, just because these windows go right ceiling to floor. And then I saw it pop into one of the tiny drainage pipes that are about that big in the wall down here. And then it popped back out. So it did a really clever thing. It dropped its quarry, the thing that it had caught and killed or whatever, went into the hole and then popped down, got a hold of it and dragged it in. And do you know what it was? It was a massive toad, a massive dead toad. And it had such a job squeezing it through the hole. Obviously, I didn't have a camera or anything, or I'd have tried to get a photograph. And these things just happen so quickly, you've just got to go, oh, amazing. Okay, so nearly got little claw there. I've nearly got the first bit of this foreground done. Okay. I'm going to do something I do quite often. As I've said before, you know, I often imagine this as like a woodlandy background, just like the one I can see. If I turned the iPad round, you'd see all different colour leaves and trees and branches. So I'm going to put a few of those in now. I'll get a slightly smaller brush. So this is my slightly smaller brush. Doesn't say what it is. I think it's 5/8 of an inch. No, 3/8 of an inch, I would say. So I'm going to mix a bit of colour that might just work for this. I'll do it there. Can't see. Sorry, folks. There ought to be a stream about you and your stream. Oh, you mean like a chat thing? Yes. Yeah, she's pretty amusing. I'm going to put some alizarin crimson in, make it a bit redder, maybe just add that, turn it into a mud colour. Windsor red just popped in there, maybe a little bit more just so I get my sort of tree branch colour, which I'm happy with that, that's fine. Leave that aside. So I'm just looking out the window and seeing what they look like. Going to get a smaller brush now. Same colour. Hope you can see okay. Oop, 5 pieces off again. Okay. Right. So we'll let them dry, and then I might do a bit more like layers of greenery and foliage, and then maybe add some more branches to build up this background area. And this is probably dry enough now to start the next layer down of this sort of layer of leaves here. So I just need to find a little bit of colour I can work with. Where's Margaret? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, you're there. Fingers look less swollen. Thank you, Margaret. I went out for a walk last night, and I moved my fingers the whole time, and I've been holding my arm quite high in that yes, please miss, ask me position to try and reduce the swelling. I'm glad you think it looks less swollen. I don't know whether you were there at the beginning when I was explaining that I got a letter from the hospital which wasn't strictly true. So I'm just mixing up like a darker colour for here, hopefully. I might just... I think I need to make a bit more, otherwise I'll run out as well. That's another annoying thing that happens. Don't mix enough colour. Okay, that's all right. Again, really simple, not very dramatic. I'm just hinting at another layer of these leaves, which almost as if it was like a row of hostas or the edge of a, I don't know, rhododendrons or something, I don't know. Speaking of imagining things, we're, as you know, we're in mourning because Scheisel, the absolutely lovely drama that I've been watching on Netflix now for weeks, is finished. So I found Anne with an E, which is basically Anne of Green Gables, which is like a real heart-warming story. I'm sure most of you have read the book about the orphan girl who goes way out to, I don't know, Quebec or no, not Quebec. Anyway, they speak French, to go with the family, and she's very much hoping that she's going to get adopted and finally have some people who actually love her. And it doesn't all go to plan. And all the time she says, oh, don't you just imagine that it would be marvellous if we did this, that and the other, and but if you didn't have an imagination, what would be left of life? And anyhow, the poor girl, her imagination doesn't always help her out. But it's quite nice. Not on a par with Scheisel, whatever it's called. So these leaves here, still wet. Quite like to add a bit of dark to here, so it really looks like they are emerging from underneath the leaves above. What's being said? Lucy Maud Montgomery lived down the road from us when we were in Ontario. She led a fascinating... How amazing! Ah, thank you, Margaret. How do you spell Scheisel? Right, Margaret. Scheisel. S-C-H-T. S-C-H-T. So it's sht. Isel. I-S-E-L. I really think you'll like it. But like I say, it's slow. Slow to start with. Butterfingers. Right, does anybody know what time it is? Because I missed this. I'll ask again. I found it on Amazon Prime. We watch it on Netflix. And if anybody else has got any recommendations for like something like really, really good, like Scheisel, please let me know, because I just don't really want to watch any of the things that necessarily other people watch always. There's just something really quirky about that. Turn it upside down again, let gravity do the hard work. So Fiona Ashford, what are you mostly sending away? Is it, 'cause I know you make all sorts of things. It's funny, I got an order for some masks from a friend of mine who, God, I hope she's not watching. Anyway, quite a while ago we were at a meeting, a socially distanced meeting, and she said, you know, you really are a, I don't know, WHORE, and you'll be making masks next. And I said, I will not be making masks, you know, like, and so anyway, she's ordered some and sent me a little message. Ha ha ha, what happened to not making masks then? So I had to just reply, do you want them or not? And then she said yes, and then she said that her husband was going to be wearing his as underpants. So I replied that he mustn't have very much to put in them, and that probably explained why she didn't always look very happy. And then she sent me a photograph of, you remember Borat, the Eastern European guy with the moustache, who is really thingy Baron Cohen, can't remember his first name. Anyway, wearing a mask as underpants, so it can be done. What time is it? That's not a... I'm snooty. Oh, I'm going to have to look. Look, I think this might be enough for the painting. I need to see what's being said here. I'm snooty Saluki, the long dog. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to have another breakfast time then. Sasha! That's right. I know. If I find a picture, I could put it on the lockdown gang, couldn't I? Sasha Baron Cohen. What time is it anyway? I literally have no idea. I'm going to put my phone on and then the Wi-Fi will just go. Oh, I've got something to show you. And Jane, look what came through the post today. Samples. Small. Medium. Large wash bags. Look at that YKK zip, quality zip, waterproof lined. How lovely are they? Good for the chaps for Christmas, don't you think? I just think they've worked out. I just wasn't sure if the colour was going to work with the natural cotton. Anyway, I'm very pleased with that. 12.40. What? You naughty, naughty people, you let me go on and on because I've got no watch, I've got no wrist to put it on. wanty. Well, the only thing is, and I have to warn you, and I hope nobody from the factory is listening, but they do make a very nice product. They are all natural cotton. Everything is printed and made in the UK at a somewhat leisurely pace, wouldn't you say, Jane? So I send polite emails saying, I'm just wondering where my order is, which I placed on the 23rd of August. Have you got any date? And I get an email back. We're very busy, don't you know? There's a global pandemic on. So then I think, okay, that's me chastened. And a week or so later I go, just wondering how you're getting on with my... yes, it'll be a couple of weeks. And then so I'll leave it a while. Hi there, hope everything's going all right, things are getting back to normal. How are you getting on with my... And every time I feel like I'm irritating them. Need a hat. I do love those cows. I bought one of your hand wash bags at Chatsworth. Right, well, you've really had plenty of my time, and I have had plenty of your time. I'm sure you need to go and have luncheon, as do I, and maybe when Jane's here tomorrow we can continue. I just want to say, I know I'm wearing the same dress day after day, but I'm not doing anything, and I am changing my underwear, and that is a different t-shirt underneath. So please don't think I'm a dirty, smelly, no wash, dirty, smelly person. I'm not. Okay, well, it's been lovely to spend time with you again. It's getting there, isn't it? The day when we do the black tail feathers, that'll be a good day. That's like the sausage day. So looking forward to that. Not quite yet, though. Right, have a lovely day. Bye.